Now, we are starting out in Amman, the capital, where it did rain unfortunately for the first 2 days, but nonetheless we still went out to explore. Now, we didn't actually spend much time in Amman as we wanted to get into other parts of the country such as Petra and Wadi-Rum, but we still went round to explore, such as Rainbow Street here, which you can see, where you can get loads of like souvenirs and antiquities that relate to the country's heritage and history. We did also go into the main centre of the city. Now here you can actually spend a few hours just going around doing some shopping, etc. Now coming to Jaresh, we grabbed our umbrellas from a random guy on the street, which we didn't realise had cars on them, but we found quite funny, and then we started to explore the place. We spent about maybe 2.5 hours here, taking it all in, and it is rich in history, with so much to see as you walk around. It's just a shame that we couldn't actually do this in the sun. Now next we're moving on to the Dead Sea. Now the drive down here is quite nice, especially once you pass the actual sea and you head down further. Now along the way you can find little areas like this where you can just maybe sit here for 5 or 10 minutes and explore the scenery. That's before going into the actual Dead Sea itself, a place where you can actually float without the need to swim. But be careful of the salt contents, guys, and try not to get it on any of your clothes or in your eyes. Now to continue our journey, we have Aqaba next on the list. Now this is a cool, vibrant city, it's very relaxed as well. Now we actually started our morning in the Aqaba fortress, which was built back in the 16th century. Now to get in here, you only need to pay about maybe 3 Jordanian dinars, or it is free if you have the Jordan pass as well. You can definitely go in here for about 10-20 minutes. And when you come out as well, you'll also see the other side of the sea, which is actually Israel. That's essentially, this is a border between Israel and Jordan. Now next we have the scuba diving, which only cost about 20 Jordanian dinars. Now I've been told there's much more down here to see, such as a helicopter plane, etc. But because we're not certified divers, we could only go about 9 to 12 metres deep. And so the coolest thing that we could actually see was this tank. But it was still a great adventure and a great thing to see down underwater. Now next we're moving on to Wadi-Rum, which is back up north. It's about a 90-minute drive from Aqaba, and as you're driving along, the scenery just gets better and better as you go, but it's until you get to Wadi-Rum that is when you see one of the best bits about this country. Now as you can imagine, once you get to Wadi-Rum, if you've taken your own car, you'll have to leave in a car park, by the main entrance, and then hop into a jeep, which is pretty exciting if you get to sit in the back of it like we did. Now once we got to our campsite, we were actually shown how they cook their food. As you can see here, they bury it in the ground and completely cover it to prevent any sand actually getting in. They then leave it for a few hours, that's what I was told anyway, and then bring it out later on for the visitors to eat. Now we did a full day tour the next day after arriving, which took us to 7 different locations throughout the entire desert. Now obviously if you're not into climbing too much and you don't want to, then that's absolutely fine, but if you are willing to do that and put in the energy, you can obviously get better views as you go along. Now this next part I want to show you, this was actually a sand dune that one of our guys took us to. We spent maybe about half hour, 40 minutes at this location before then moving on to the next part. Now this next bit was actually an area where they had hieroglyphics in the walls, so they obviously told us not to touch those and just be respectful, which everyone was. Now nothing to do with sandboarding. Now for me, my strap was actually broken on the board, but nonetheless I wasn't making that climb a wasted one, so I still went down. Now it's definitely something I recommend, quite fun, never tried it out before, and I'm definitely glad I did. Now next on the tour we were taken to a ridge. Now to get up here is a bit tricky. It's only about 5 minutes, but it's just trying to get through these small gaps, so those who are struggling with walking already might have a problem doing this, especially. When you get to the top though, it's a cool little view. Just have to be careful as it is quite narrow when you're going up, and then from the bottom you can maybe get some pictures. Now when we did leave, all the trucks, as you can see here, start to converge into one. That's like the final kind of convoy almost leaving the area. But fortunately for us, our driver actually took us to one last location just to give us an ending view for the day. Now once you get to Petra, it's not too long after you start walking through that you'll immediately see one of the best masterpieces here. This is very early on in the stages, it only takes about 10 minutes or so to start walking until you actually hit this specific spot. After actually seeing that first section, we decided to walk quickly to the end of the trail just so we could get there in time, and then slowly come back and read all the information and really take it all in. Now when you do visit Petra, do be advised that a lot of it is actually very much exposed. There's not a lot of cover, and when you're going through you'll notice how long it takes. You can see how far we've already walked, and that's not even maybe half the trail. Now once you do get to the end, like I say, we're starting kind of backwards. You'll then get to the main site, and you'll maybe even see someone doing this on top of the building. Now where we're standing here, if you look to the right, you'll see a little path that actually takes you higher up. Now it only takes about a minute or so to climb, and once you're up there you get this wonderful view of like a whole valley, as well as the main actual building itself down below. Now just to top all of this off, once you leave you can obviously go to a museum, or you can do this before, up to you entirely. When you go through you'll just get an array of artefacts and information that you can read up about, and actually get a more in-depth view about Petra and the history behind it. So that does actually sum up my video of my journey to Jordan. Now I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just want to say Jordan itself is a completely underrated country, especially when you see the sights of both Petra and Wadi-Rum. They are absolutely phenomenal to go and see, and I recommend it to any of you guys. So again, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and have a great one guys. Bye.